What's going on, boys? It's your boy Serena Macaroni MMA here back another video, and today we're gonna be going over fight predictions for your upcoming card this Saturday, August 8th. That being Quillen Salkilld versus Mateus Gamrot. I mean, this main event is probably one of the hardest main events to really decipher who's going to win. Like, bro, I was literally spending this whole entire week because I was contemplating winning of this video, but I spent a majority of that this week, and even when this fight got announced. I was still figuring who's really gonna win this fight, and today I've come down to my decision. I like both these guys, but this is an extremely tough matchup. This might be the toughest matchup to really decide who's gonna win all year. It's either that one or it's Gaethje and Ilya. Gaethje and Ilya supporter, which is also a pretty hard one, but obviously Gaethje won that. But anyways, we can get right into it. We have a lot of this card I would say is pretty underwhelming. Because I feel the UFC could have added the Salkilld versus Gamrot to UFC 330 main card, if they wanted to. Because, if they did that, that would have boosted cards overall by a lot, but they didn't. Some of these fights honestly could be on numbered cards, and it would, and I promise you, some of these fights on here would make UFC 330 better. Because UFC 330 is, awful, bro. And that's a card after this card. But man, we have a lot. There are some interesting fights we have on here. A lot of new and upcoming people on this card. There was an extra fight added here, so that's why I kind of waited, because if you don't watch the Ultimate Fighter, I mean, I didn't really watch this season too much, but there is someone from the Ultimate Fighter on here. That'll be the first fight I'm going over that was just added about yesterday, I believe. So I was kind of waiting for that fight to be put on the website and all that and announced first, and then I was gonna make the video predictions. But honestly, we can just get straight into it, man. A lot to talk about here. Let's get a move on. First up being Gigi Canuto versus Carol Ford. If you watched Tough 34 Ultimate Fighter, you would know Gigi Canuto is a very good fighter. We can honestly just start off. I want to start with Carol Ford though, just because she's a little bit more. I would say is she more known? She's kind of more known a little bit, but she's on a win streak right now. She did earn a contract on the Contender Series before. I do remember her. She's a very aggressive fighter, a good striker. And in this fight specifically, she has good takedown defense, and she's gonna need that against a fighter like Gigi Canuto. And she's a high finishing rate, but I mean, in general, if Foro can keep this fight on the feet, then she has a very big chance of beating Gigi Canuto. Because Gigi Canuto, I wouldn't say she's a bad striker, but she's not a better striker than Carol Foro. Nah, I just don't see it. But Ford needs to keep the fight standing and try to survive. If she can survive the first round, I think she and keep this fight on the feet, stuff off the takedown attempts she can throws at her. But I think Carol Foro can definitely last the whole entire fight, win by decision. But let's go to Gigi Canuto because she's really good. She's a very good grappler. We saw contenders. I mean, we saw it on Ultimate Fighter, even on the regionals, bro. She has a lot of submission wins. She does it pretty early in fights too. She'll submit people very early in a fight, which is that's always a good thing. If you're that good of a grappler, you can get someone down the ground whenever you want them to and submit them early in a fight. That's really good. She was limited on Ultimate Fighter, but it was fun because I'm not gonna lie, if you were watching it for a long enough time, and you would have known she was gonna get signed for sure, for sure. But she's a very good opponent for Carol Foro. I mean, I would say that Gigi Kuno, she's not a bad striker, but Gigi Kuno definitely needs to find a submission attempt and take her Carol Foro down first, then find a submission attempt on her to really get this win. And she could definitely do it. I mean, Foro has good takedown defense, like I said before, but this fight really can go either way. But me personally, I'm gonna take Gigi Canuto here just because I like her better, and I think she really to make a statement in her UFC debut. She really has a good enough chance to take down Foro and get a submission on her. Guillotine, whatever, bro. Definitely. But anyways, we can move on to the next bout on this card. That being another women's MMA fight. Juliana Miller versus Ravina Oliveira. Now, this fight is probably one of the worst fights on here just because these two fighters have not been great. Let's start with Ravina Oliveira. She's on 3 for the streak, first of all. She's been finished in her last 2 fights. I mean, she got destroyed by Chanel Dyer, who's an upcoming prospect in strawweight. She got submitted by Stefan Luciano, who's a really good grappler. I mean, fair enough because she's good. She also lost to Tainara Lisboa. Yeah, Tainara Lisboa. kind of a vet in the UFC. But she hasn't won like a fight in the UFC at all, and she's not very good. Now, yes, Juliana Miller is 5-4. Yes, she is a win-loss. She's like a loss-loss, win-win merchant. But like, she's come off a loss to Cara Judas. I mean, like, oh my God, like I don't want to say that Juliana Miller is not she's not that bad as people assume she is. She's not that bad, and I would, I'm gonna go Juliana Miller. I'll explain why. One, because Raviana Oliveira isn't good at like really like she's not better than anything that Juliana Miller does at all, right? And I would say, I mean, like it's kind of hard. Juliana Miller has the height advantage in this fight. I mean, she can force grappling exchanges with people if she needs to. She has good jiu-jitsu. We've seen before. Oliveira is the better striker, more dangerous striker on the feet. She has knockout power, but from what it's looked like in her last couple of fights, she has not been able to utilize that power at all. She's being destroyed. Like she's not one to fight in the UFC, bro. That's bad. At least Joanna Miller has one fight in the UFC. Whether it be decision, finish, it doesn't matter. She's won fights in the UFC. She's proven her worth in the UFC, even though she's kind of like bad. But I mean, I think this is like I think Jim is like a huge favorite in this fight. I mean, I think like Oliveira is not good at fighting opponents who are like good on the ground, like either wrestling or they're really good at grappling and they know how to submit you pretty easy. Like she's not good at fighting people like that. So I do think Jenna Miller takes her down like round one and submits her, bro. Like it's simple, plain as that. Like Raviana Oliveira is not a good fighter. I'm surprised she got signed, bro, because she sucks, dude. She's awful. But give me Jenna Miller by submission round one, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Next up, we have Miles John versus Jesse Rojas. And Jesse Rojas, yes, Jesse Rojas is the brother of Raul Rosas Jr., who's a terrorist of the sport. But let's cut some slack on the Rojas brothers for a minute, bro. First of all, Miles John is on third Evolution Street, I'm pretty sure. He has faced a lot of high competition in the UFC, though. He's not a bad fighter. He's a wrestling type of guy. He's good at stuffing takedowns, and I think in this fight he definitely could stop Jesse Rojas's takedown attempts because Jesse Rojas is primarily a grappler. A guy who likes to wrestle. He's literally similar to his brother, bro. Like him and Raul are literally this like very similar fighters, bro. Very similar. Like he's a very like Ross is a very promising fighter, but I just don't see him like I like him a lot. I just don't see him being an experienced guy like Miles Johns. I do think Jesse Rojas has a huge chance of being Miles John. Like this fight to me was not gonna end early. This fight's gonna go on for a little while. But I would say like Jesse Ross is a better grappler than striker. With his striking, like he has good moves because he's kind of quick, good athlete. He likes to utilize pressure a little bit in his fights as well when it comes to fights on the field of striking. But like he just does he himself is not the best against pressure. He's not great at timing. He whiffs a lot of shots sometimes. He can be late. He's a late reaction times here and there. It's kind of hard from the close distance in fights, but I think Miles Johns, okay, he's on third for streak, yes, but he definitely can pull this one off. Even if Jesse Rose loses this fight, he definitely can come back by another guy for sure. But I do think Miles Johns gonna take this one just because of um his good takedown defense, and he's gonna keep this fight on the feet, and definitely the experience he has with Jesse Ross on the UFC, higher competition level, he definitely can outstrike Ross on the feet, and maybe even the fight by decision or like a late round finish, like the real TKO. I don't know, but I'll take Miles Johns here, but like a late round TKO. This is definitely like a very good fight. I like this fight. I'm excited for the debut of Jesse Ross. Let's get it, man. Let's move on. Next up, we do have Manuel Sosa versus Richie Miranda. Now, Richie Miranda, don't just because he's debuting in this, don't count him out. This guy has definitely faced good opponents in his career so far. But I do like Manuel Sosa better. Manuel Sosa is a very sharp boxer. He has lots of knockout power, for sure. Lots of knockout power. This guy's really good at what he does. I mean, like he's only been in the UFC like for like a year. He did fight before he KO'd Balaji Oki. I remember that. That was a nasty knockout. He KO'd someone in the contender series too. Like this dude's pretty good. I mean, he only has one loss, and it's a guy he lost to a top PFL guy. So I'm not even it's not even nothing to worry about. But this dude, literally, I think all his wins, no, not all of his wins, primarily almost all of his wins are like he has like 12 finishes in his career. He's 14 wins, bro. He can submit people he needs to, but I think this fight's going to be fight in the feet. Richie Miranda's a well-rounded fighter, solid grappler, not a bad striker, a lot of experience in MMA. Like he's like just because he's debuting in the UFC does not mean he's not an experienced fighter. With Jesse Rojas, he has less fights and he has not fought in the highest level competition. But Richie Miranda has fought, I believe he fought in Fury. Like that's not a bad or L fight, something like that. One of those top places where a lot of guys get picked up at. But he's fought in a lot of places and he has, well, I believe, won a belt in the regional scene as well, like one of those promotions, something like that. But so me, I'm gonna take Sosa, but like TKO, probably around 3 TKO, around 2 maybe, like late round 2, just because this fight's gonna last for a while. Richie Miranda is a tough fighter. I do think the like Mayo Sosa's composure is really good in fights, and he has a lot of finishing ability in his fights as well. And I do think he could catch Richard Miller off his feet with a striker too, because this guy is really good at what he does, bro. Really good at what he does. I don't think Richard Miranda's fought somebody with the power of Mayo Sosa, but to me, Mayo Sosa is a really good fighter, better boxer. I think he's the better striker to me, and he has more power. Grappling is 50-50. I don't really care about that because fight's gonna be on the feet for sure. But give me Manuel Sosa like a late round like finish, like a late round 2 or like round 3. I'll take Manuel Sosa here. We can move on to the next fights. We have Louis Sutherland. Yes, Louis Sutherland. And I'm not. I mean, I don't really care for this fight. I'll be honest, bro. This fight to me, I could care less, bro. He's versing Jose Montaña da Silva. This guy doesn't really impress me. I mean, off the bat, I'm taking Louis Sutherland, bro. 1, he has experience. 2, he has the wrestling game, right? Wrestling heavy. 3, I mean, he can adapt in fights. We've seen it before. He's pretty good at trading punches with people, bro. But I think Montaña, solid record. Like, he's not a bad record. But there's not that much footage on him to really like say he can beat a guy on Louis Sutherland's level. I do think he's not a bad fighter, obviously, but I'm just saying in terms of like, do I think he can beat a guy like Louis Sutherland? No, not a heavyweight, bro. No. I would say like Montana's a very tough fighter to really like evaluate how good they are. I do think Montana is not bad, but like the way Louis Sutherland like his wrestling and all that, I just think he's really going to destroy Montaña da Silva on the ground. If this fight goes to the ground, this probably will. But I just don't see Montaña da Silva just doing anything to Louis Sutherland, bro. Louis Sutherland, to me, is the better striker. To me, is the better guy in the ground game. This dude's all like, sure, he's kind of like the blobby heavyweight, but like he still is a very good fighter, bro. He still can definitely do what he's going to do in this fight and destroy Montaña. I don't see Montaña really doing nothing in this fight. This fight's pretty, to me, end by TKO. Montaña's going to take a bunch of shots all around and then just end up falling down from the power of Louis Sutherland, bro. So give me Louis Sutherland by like finish. Like this card's gonna have a good amount of finishes. I think so. Like probably half finishes on this card. So that's what I'm saying. All these cards gonna be finishes. My predictions, but give me Louis Sutherland. Let's move on. Dr. Nurgazai versus Bruno Lopez. Now this fight is another fight I really don't care about because Bruno Lopez to me is not really good, and Dr. Nurgazai is like he's not the worst, but he's not great either. I'm not gonna lie, I want to take Dr. Nurgazai. I would say that so far in the UFC, but like I'll list out the cons he has. So far in the UFC, he looks weak to like the submission game. Like I just don't see him doing that good on the ground because he's been submitted too. But I just don't like. He kind of is like I guess a lot of criticism the way he fights, which makes sense because his fighting style is kind of weird. Bruno Lopez, on the other hand, he's come off a bunch of losses. He has fought a good amount of comp in the UFC, stronger competition than Nurgazai, but I just don't see him like. I don't see him lasting with Nurgazai. Like, I'm not in that way. I'm like something to finish. I think this fight's gonna go to decision, But I do think Nurgazai is going to win this fight. Yes, that's kind of a weird thing to say in this prediction because like Nurgazai, a lot of people are against Nurgazai. I'm not. I do think he's going to win this fight by like decision, bro. He's a very like his fighting style is weird, and he does a lot of weird things in his fights too. If you've seen him fight, he does a lot of weird things. But he does have a good amount of finishes. But in the UFC, like he doesn't really done much. He had two straight losses, and one he did lose to Brandon Ribeiro. Like both his losses in his career and in the UFC are literally by submission. But they are to two guys who are good at submission. But his one win is over Rafael Tobias. I mean that win is it's all right win, but like I mean Tobias is not really that good, so it makes sense. But like, anyways, I just don't think Niggas is really gonna do much in this fight. I mean he has a striking game with him, but like the ground game, bro. If this fight goes to the ground, it's over. I'm telling you, it's over. If Rulovas can lock up submission on Nurgazai, it's over, bro. But hopefully Nurgazai can, get out of that, get out of those grappling exchanges instantly and recover and get back on the feet. So I'll take Nurgazai by decision. Probably might be like a little bit of a boring fight, but I'll take Nurgazai, bro. The hell of it, bro. Let's go with the underdog here, bro. I think he's underdog. I'm not totally sure, but let's go with Nurgazai. Next up, yes sir. This fight I've been waiting for Steven Asplin news for so long, bro. We have Steven Asplin versus Guilherme Pat. Yes, bro. Steven Asplin is fighting. I'm excited, bro. I've been waiting to see him fight. Steven Asplin, to me, in this fight is gonna get the win by TKO, and I'll explain why. And right off the bat, he is the more proven guy in this fight. Obviously, he has a high motor, high pace in his fights, bro. If you've seen him, bro, if you watched his last fight against Vitor Pacino, literally, okay, he was getting hit, but he kept on coming forward. And I think that's kind of a problem with him because he takes a lot of unnecessary damage in his fights. He's kind of like, in a way, like he's obviously in a heavyweight, but he's kind of like a Tommy Millen. Like Tommy Millen does the same thing in his fights where he rushes forward to you no matter what and just keeps on striking with you, no matter what damage he's taking. Like he did that in Alberto Montes fight. And obviously, you saw that he threw a bunch of strikes in that fight and won. See, that's been the same way. He did it with Sean Sheriff, beat Sean Sheriff up by TKO, and he did it with Vitor Pacino. Even though he was losing that fight, taking a lot of damage, he's bloodied up. He was still coming at Vitor Pacino, and even at one point, I think he stunned him too, almost finished him, and he was losing. But that was still a really good fight, very entertaining. Gamrot Paz is a very tough guy, durable, but he just has not faced a guy like Steven Asplin. Steven Asplin's gonna whip him, bro. I'm telling you, Steven Asplin's gonna, do his thing, shuffle, box with him, and like Steven Asplin's really gonna mess this guy up, bro. Give me Steven Asplin, but I don't think Gamrot Paz gonna withstand the pressure from Steven Asplin. Steven Asplin's gonna be really good, and even if Gamrot Paz does withstand the pressure, Steven Asplin's gonna outstrike him in this fight as well. So give me Steven Aston either by decision or a late round TKO because this dude is he's such a well loved fighter and it makes sense why he's good. He's good at what he does, bro. Good at what he does. We can move on. Next fight. Okay, hear me out on this one, bro, because a lot of people have Ty Miller winning this, but I'm going with Blair Goff. But we have Blair Goff versus Ty Miller. These are two guys, two prospects. Obviously, Billy Ray Goff is on a 2 losing streak, and I just don't think he's gonna allow himself to lose. It's like I like Billy Ray Goff, bro. I don't see him. I don't see him allowing himself to lose 3 in a row, bro. I don't see it. Now, yes, Ty Miller has the advantage of height and reach. He definitely gonna try to manage his distance in this fight. I will say, he probably has the cleaner striking. We've seen him. Like I remember he destroyed Adam Fugit. Adam Fugit's like a can though. But anyways, he destroyed Adam Fugit. I remember that the striking was really good on him. Billy Goff is very aggressive though. I think Ty Miller can handle the pressure for Billy Goff in this fight, but I just don't. Bro, I like Billy Goff so much. I don't see him losing three in a row, bro. I don't want to see, and I don't see him losing 3 in a row, bro. I think he's gonna come out with this win here and give Ty Miller his first defeat here. I do think Billy Goff. He does a high volume of strikes in his fights, bro. Does a high volume of strikes. I believe he had one fight. I forgot who he fought. But it was a really good fight. It was a back and forth. I think he did lose that fight, but it was a really back and forth fight. A striking barrage between both him and his opponent. But that was a very good fight. I'm going off stuff like that. I think he has a good chance of withstanding it. I mean, yes, he is not the greatest on the ground game, but like this fight's gonna really be a striking fight. I'm seeing this too. I think Billy Goff can really pull this. Billy Goff can pull this fight. He can pull this win off, bro. By decision. I think he can land the strikes. It's gonna be really close, like 29-28 each round. Very close fight to me. This fight is also a fight I really want to see because these two are upcoming process. And even time I lose this fight, he's not a he won't be fully derailed as a prospect, but he definitely can bounce back because Belarygov is a tough guy, bro. He's a very tough guy. Miller has edge in this fight, but give me Belarygov, bro. Trust me. Underdog Belarygov, bro. I'm going for some underdogs on this card, bro. I think Belarygov is gonna pull this off and win this, bro. So give me BRG, bro. Let's move on. Next up, we have Amanda Lemos versus Alexia Tanara. Now, at one point, Amanda Lemos was not a bad fighter. She was really good. She was, at one point she contended for a belt. But I think her downfall is when after she had a title shot against Zhang Wei Li for the flyweight or for the it's the no for the strawweight belt, she kind of went downhill. Because if you watched her fight against Zhang Wei Li, in the TD Garden, bro, you remember her getting destroyed. She got 50-43 in a round, bro. That's rare. That does not happen. But she got destroyed. She got controlled. And, bro, she's not good against grapplers, bro. She lost to Jillian Robertson, good grappler. She lost to Tatiana Suarez, good grappler. She's lost to Verna Jandaroba, good grappler. Lost to John Wei Lee, who's another pretty good grappler, bro. She's losing to these people who are good grapplers. And I think at this point in her career, she's 39 years old. She probably retire soon. She's losing to all these good grapplers, bro. She hasn't really, she doesn't have an answer to defend against this grappling. And Alexia Tanara is a good grappler, bro. Let's just think about how this fight's gonna play out, bro. Alexia Tanara is a good grappler, and it's not looking well for Amanda Lemos, bro. Amanda Lemos is, she's not a bad fighter, bro. But like you just have to think about it like this, bro. If he's losing to good grapplers repeatedly, and if she's winning some of her fights, okay, she's losing to good grapplers repeatedly. She will lose to Alexia Tanara. One was entering her prime soon. She's getting up to that level of, trying to fly up the strawweight rankings and end up contending for the belt. Two, she's a good grappler. Like, it's just not looking good for Amanda Lemos. Like, she's not a bad striker, but her ground game is just so bad now that she's gonna get, like, she came from reverse stuff, and she gets it out pretty easily too in grappling exchanges too. So she's probably gonna give up eventually. It's not gonna choke her out. So this fight is, to me, so one-sided. There's a lot of one-sided fights in this card, but this fight is one-sided as hell, bro. So I'm gonna take Alexia Tanara by submission, bro. Like round 2, bro. I'm sorry. I felt bad for Amanda Lemos. She's been in the rankings for a minute, and she's been, holding her spots. Moving up, moving down, but like today is where she loses, bro. And for me, it's gonna go downhill. She's gonna get put against more upcoming prospects, so give me Alexia Tanara. Next up, we have your co-main event here. A very weird co-main event, or not co-main event. Sorry. Next up, we have a very weird matchup to me. A very matchup. That's another matchup where it's like they're going against my guy Darren Elkins here. Darren Elkins versus Yair Del Valle, the Cuban Problem. This fight is so one-sided, bro. Darren Elkins, yes, this is his last fight. He has a bunch of fights, bro. He's fought so many times in the UFC. He's coming off some bad losses though, in like the past couple of years. Darren Elkins, I like Darren Elkins a lot. Good striker, but I do think Yair Del Valle is the quicker guy, stronger guy in terms of his ground game. I think it's not bad striking, but I think Del Valle's gonna really try to get Elkins on the ground, quickly, because Darren Elkins can bang. He's a durable, strong guy. We've seen him last long in fights, bro, just standing there with people, and he can put on pressure, put on the freaking barrage if he needs to. In this fight, he needs to watch out to not get taken down by Yair Del Valle, just because he's a really good grappler, like I said, bro. Like once you get on the ground with him, it's gonna be really hard to get out of what he's gonna do to you. But Darren Elkins is a really good fighter. Not really good, but he's like a really he's an extremely mid fighter, but he's so good at what he does, bro. And he's put on so many good performances in the UFC. I do think he loses this fight though. I mean, I like Darren Elkins. He's better retire after this fight, but I wish him good luck on his retirement, man. Good luck on his post-retirement career, see how he does. But I just think he's gonna lose this fight, man. This fight is really one-sided. He's fighting an upcoming prospect, a really good grappler, not a bad striker, has power in his hands. We've seen it. But yeah, give me Yair Del Valle, bro. By I could say winning by decision or maybe submission, but probably I see him by winning. I probably see him winning by submission, maybe round 2. But sorry to see Darren Elkins go out this way, but good fighter. Hope he has a good post-retirement career, bro. We all love Darren Elkins, bro. Now here we go. Let's move on to our co-main event here. That being one of the worst and weirdest coming events to me is gonna be Diego Ferreira versus Billy Quarantillo. Billy Quarantillo, by the way, hold up. Some people might not know this, but Billy Quarantillo has not fought in like 2 years, and he's coming back in the UFC. They're losing two straight losses to one to Yusuf Zalal. That's kind of fair enough. Losing to Yusuf Zalal, I mean, that was when he was coming back in the UFC. But at the same time, bro, he got submitted by Yusuf Zalal. And he got finished by Cub Swanson, bro, which is like, bro, come on, man. And that's like Cub Swanson's like on the end of his career, literally about to fight one more time after that. But it's like Billy Quarantillo to me, like, okay, we can start with Diego Ferro. Diego Ferro is 41 because he hasn't fought in 2 years. This fight's gonna be really weird to see, but I think Diego Ferro's gonna pull this off. One, Diego Ferro is he's a natural lightweight, strong grappler, high level Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, right? Quarantillo is making he's moving up in the weight class here from featherweight. He had a long layoff, obviously, he had knee surgery. That makes sense as well. So it's kind of hard to, it's kind of like, kind of questionable to see how he'll perform in this fight just because of the knee surgery, the long layoff. Um, yes, I think in order for Quarantillo to really win this fight, we got to this for Ferrer too, so he can win this fight as well. But in order for Quarantillo to win this fight, he really needs to use his high volume striking because we've seen before. He has good pace in his fights. He's not gassed out like that. He can pace himself well in fights. He's very durable, like I just said. He can stay on the feet and bang with you for a while, bro, for a while. I'm telling you, he can stay on the feet and bang with you. But I do think in this fight, I don't really know if he is gonna last against Diego Ferrer, who's a pressure fighter. Diego Ferrer loves taking people down, loves taking the back control. He's a huge submission threat. In this fight, I really lean more for Ferrer, but I do think Quarantillo. I'm gonna go with another underdog here. I'm gonna go with Billy Quarantillo. This fight is not the hardest to really, choose, but I'm gonna go with Billy Quarantillo. I think Billy Quarantillo can pull this off. I think he can pull this fight off and get the win, bro. I think he can. 41. Yes, he's the mission threat, but yeah, Billy Quarantillo is coming in here. I think he's been training well enough for this fight. I think he's ready for this, bro. It's gonna be Billy Quarantillo by, let's say, decision, bro. So hopefully he can get this win. I'll strike fair on the feet, not get taken down and submitted. Hopefully, bro. I like both these guys, but I like Quarantillo better. But let's move on to finally our main event here. The hardest matchup to decipher so far in the year for me is going to be between Mateus Gamrot, the gamer, versus Quillen Salkilld. Now this fight's gonna be so hard to really go through, man. We can start off with the reason why I think Quillen. I would go off reason why I think they win, and then I'll choose who I have winning. I literally decide who I had winning like before this video, like right before the video started. You can go with Quillen Salkilld. Quillen Salkilld, obviously, to me, is the better striker in this fight. He has no loss in the UFC. He quite literally has been finishing everybody in the UFC. Like, remember, he has nasty KO wins over like Nasrat Haqparast. He submitted Jamie Malarkey. He destroyed Benito Yusuf's chin. Remember that. I do think in that Jamie Malarkey fight, he did get taken down by Malarkey. I remember. So I feel like he might be kind of weak to the ground game. If you're gonna take down by Jamie Malarkey, it's kind of like questionable in a way. But I do think that. But you can't really go off just that. Can't really go off just that. You get taken out pretty easy by Jamie Malarkey in that fight though. But he's a really good striker. He has the grappling. He's not a bad grappler, bro. I don't like when people are trying to count him out with the grappling. He's a good grappler. He knows what he's doing. So let's not count him on the grappling, bro. Let's not do that because he knows what he's doing, bro. He's good enough to understand. He's good enough to understand what he needs to do in this fight. And this fight's really going to be like a lot of grappling exchanges, like grappling scrambles, scrambles on the ground. I would say that Salkilld, yes, he's the better striker, but he's the weaker grappler to Gamrot. I think Gamrot's going to take him down a lot in this fight. I think Gamrot's really going to win. I think Gamrot's really going to have a better advantage in the grappling exchanges in this fight. But Quillen Salkilld can hold his own on the ground. Let's not count him out here. But obviously Gamrot, he's fought the high level comp. He's fought guys like Dan Hooker, Charles Oliveira, Dariush, Fiziev. He came up win against Asman Ribovic. He has good wins. He's fought a lot of high comp. I think to me, Mateus Gamrot gets the win here by decision, bro. This is a tough fight. This is the toughest fight. I love Quillen Salkilld. I like Gamrot, bro. I like both these guys. Salkilld obviously has the hype, but even if he loses this fight, his hype should not be derailed, bro. He definitely is still a very good fighter, bro. Let's not like cut this out, bro. Even lose this fight, bro, it's fine, bro. You can definitely come back from this, bounce back, and stay right in the rankings, bro. But if Salkilld can pull this one off, bro, he literally is. He's gaining for the lightweight, bro. He's gaining for it. He's getting closer and closer, bro. If he wins this, bro. If he wins this fight, I'm gonna take Mateusz Gamrot, bro. I think Gamrot is the better grappler, not the better striker. He has a lot of KO wins in his career. I'll say more off the regional scene when he was fighting in KSW and all that. But I just think like he's really going to just I think he's gonna out grapple Salkilld so much that Salkild's really gonna have a hard time, getting the fight back on the feet. I think if he's Salkilld can stop the takedowns from Gamrot, he really has a better chance of keeping the fight on the feet. And maybe even, outstriking Gamrot on the feet. But I just think Gamrot's really going to take him down. Not too early in the fight. Salkild's going to, do a good job stuffing the takedowns, getting out of the attempts from Gamrot, and really trying to keep the fight on the feet. And he has the range, but, like, I just don't see him beating Mateusz Gamrot, bro. It's so hard because at one point I did see Salkilld having a very good chance of winning this fight, and I had him winning. But then I really thought about, Gamrot's really good at grappling, bro. Like, he's insane. He's relentless pressure, bro. And he can knock people out if he needs to. So I just think like Gamrot's well-rounded. Salkild's well-rounded too, but Gamrot has striking and grappling. Salkild's more of a mainly a striker, but he has grappling, bro. Let's not count him out. Like I keep on saying this, but let's not count him on the grappling, bro. I don't think people are saying that. I've been seeing that on Twitter and stuff. People can't have Quillen Salkilld on the grappling. He has a grappling. He definitely can grapple with Gamrot, and I do see Gamrot win this fight by decision, bro. Toughest fight to go over this year so far, bro. Hard matchup, but give me Mateusz Gamrot. Love Quillen Salkilld, love Gamrot, but Gamrot, he's just really gonna win this fight, bro. By decision, that's gonna be a very this fight could even be a draw to me. Like I don't even know, man. Hopefully it's a draw. I don't want to see either guys lose, bro. But let's just say Mateusz Gamrot can win by decision here. That's gonna be the end of the video, boys. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe. I'm kind of excited for this main event. I really want to see this. But anyways, that's gonna be it. So peace.